Bitcoin is in big trouble right now. It fell to $81,000, and I warned you in advance that bear market potentially has already started. And the question is whether it is a good time to buy Bitcoin right now. And the reason I'm asking this question is because there is evidence that we might see a comeback. We might see 2026 actually be a good year for Bitcoin and crypto assets. And there is two camps right now. One camp is that bull market is definitely here. It's all over. We should expect the worst for Bitcoin yet to come. And the other camp is saying this is the best timing to buy right now. So let's dive right into it. What's the short term is telling us, and more importantly, what is the long-term outlook and what we should be looking at for Bitcoin and for crypto in the long term. So diving in right here, Bitcoin is trading at $91,000. It fell on the weekly below the 50 weeks moving average, which is the make or break of a bull market. As you can see, the body of the candle closed below and we fell to $81,000. And right now, if you look at a daily structure, we fell below this support from September 2024. And what it means is right now in the immediate short term, we are testing it as a resistance. So this level right here at $92,000 is exactly the level that is acting as a resistance right now. So failing to break above it will mean one thing, that we are going to go even lower for Bitcoin and try to get even lower than 80,000. But looking at the bigger picture and the market structure, this is what I want to share with you right now. Look at the 2 weeks chart over there. You can see clearly that we are in a downtrend right now. And looking at the stochastic RSI, whenever we see the blue line is above the orange line, this is where we see the momentum shift to the upside in a major way. And following that is some crazy big moves to the upside. All right. So it doesn't happen that often. We have in June 2022, we have in September 2023, and we have in August 2024, and recently we have in April 2025, right? So we are waiting until this line is gonna cross over there on a 2-week chart. We can be patient and we might see prices go even lower. How low? The structure of the bull market, if you can see the most important level for Bitcoin, what is it? Well, the most important level for Bitcoin is literally $70,000, around this area. Why? Because the previous bull market highs, we have a double top around the area of $70,000, right? It's in 2021. And then we did a run up in March 2024 at exactly $70,000. And then once we go on a higher high, we go below and we got supported at around $75,000. So this is the level to watch, $70,000 to $75,000 box. Holding this level can mean one thing, that there is a chance, there is a possibility, and a big one, that we might still see higher prices for Bitcoin, for crypto, and the bull market continuation. All of this thing was a 36% correction, because this is what we are measuring the move from $126,000. It is 36% correction. Okay, so it is early to tell. We're right now still, of course, in a downtrend, and we need some levels to overcome. The next level is $92,000. After that, we need to overcome the $95,000 level, and only after that, of course, we need to overcome the $100,000. And only crossing $100,000 was the body of the candle. And following that, we need to get back on track to around $110,000. We can start to see that we might take those previous highs down. But right now, we are in a downtrend, Is it a good time to buy right now? Well, historically, if you look, we are still in extreme fear right now, and every single time we were in extreme fear, those are the times that if you even mess up, those are the times that was historically very, very good time to buy. Okay, so if you missed buying at $80,000, is it a good time to buy at $90,000 over the long term? Yes. If you have a long term horizon of several years, then yes, it is historically a very good time. Can we go lower than 90K? Absolutely, we can. We can go to as low as 75, and if we don't hold there, well, the bear market is officially there, and we can go all the way to 50K in the depths of the bear market. This is the worst case scenario, of course, if we are falling in the depths and the lowest points of the bear market. This is what I see, around $50,000 to $53,000. But we are not there yet, and we are holding these levels, and everything can change just like this. I want to point out to you a couple of facts. One fact is that the ISM Purchasing Manager Index, the PMI, basically was telling us that we are from 2021, we were in a net liquidity downwards. The economy wasn't downwards, not really going to new highs, not really momentum to the upside. So every time that we have the PMI above 50, we see the economy is actually doing really well and is producing, and above 60, where this is where we see the altcoin season, the altcoins are rallying. This is what not we've been seeing just yet, but things are about to change because the quantitative tightening by the Federal Reserve ends at December 1st, 2025. It's just in a couple of days. And what it means is that the new era of quantitative easing, or in other words, putting more money into the markets, is about to begin right now. So maybe the 4-year cycle is that, and people that are saying, okay, just because we are exactly after the halving, we count the days, and the bull market should have ended on the October the 6th, exactly if you count the days. If you look generally over the liquidity cycle and the bigger picture, the liquidity is about to just get pumped, and the bull market is about to get started. So maybe we are in the beginning of this, because 2025 wasn't really such a bullish year after all. When did we start this year of 2025? Well, we started the year of 2025 at around $100,000. Look at January 2025. January 2020, it was about $92,000. So on a yearly chart, we have not really progressed, right? It wasn't a bullish year. I mean, look at this. We have 1 month more to close, but it was not a bullish year. So maybe the 4-year cycle is that, and the next year is where the real bull market is going to start. Think about that. There is some evidence that is pointing to this, and this is one of them, the PMI. None of the top indicators have hit, right? None of them have hit, and this is not how the bull market ends. The bull market ends in euphoria and not like this. So all of these things point to the fact that we might see some higher prices coming into the market rather sooner than later. Okay, so this is analysis by Titan of Crypto, that $96,000 is the next level to watch for the bulls to clear. We see BlackRock started to buy again, $50 million for Ethereum, $42 million worth of Bitcoin. They have been buying. And something on the background, like what caused this fall, is between JPMorgan and Michael Saylor, there is an issue. And the issue is there is a company called MSCI index that basically puts the equities and the passive funds and all the big funds that are investing into the assets, and they might remove MSTR, which was the biggest and largest buyer of Bitcoin for years, from this index, right? And what's really going on? On October the 10th, exactly at the liquidation event, they publish an announcement that MSCI Global Standard Index may be removing the companies that hold a large portion, more than 50% of their holdings of their assets in digital assets, right? Which MicroStrategy is like that. So this is an attack on MSTR, and JPMorgan, months before the sell-off, raised margin requirements on MSTR-backed positions from 50% to 95%. So basically, the holders of MSTR, they were forced to sell because it was no longer meeting those requirements. And now we started to see all of these articles that JPMorgan warns MSCI decision could force strategy out of the top equity indices. And at the same time, what they have launched is this JPMorgan's Bitcoin structure note, structure bond, right? So there is some big play, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, behind the scenes by giant institutions, JPMorgan, that wants to profit from the Bitcoin on the one side, and the other side, you want to shook the market with the MSTR, which has been a big buyer of Bitcoin, and you can see the stock of MSTR has been nosediving. That's the kind of things that are happening behind the scenes. So JP Morgan sells shares of MSTR, increases margin requirements from 50 to 95%, pushes for strategies exclusion from MSCI index, has a history of manipulating Bitcoin price, calls for lower price, waits for 35% drawdown, and announces a Bitcoin-backed bond. So what is really going on here? Well, they shook off the market, and now they're ready to onboard a lot of people into the Bitcoin, right? And MSTR has only reached these oversold levels 3 times since adopting its Bitcoin strategy. One is during the COVID crash, another one is during the 2022 bear market bottom, and now. Okay, so think about that. Okay, MSTR is the largest holder of Bitcoin. They have like 650,000 Bitcoin, crazy amount, about $70 billion or something like that. So this is a pivotal moment, and some big plays are happening behind the scenes. If MSTR is going to be delisted from MSCI, then we'll see further plunge in the stock of MSTR, which can affect also the prices of Bitcoin. Okay, but we should see in the next following weeks about this evolving story. We have Texas becomes the first state to buy Bitcoin, investing $10 million in strategic reserve, which is very nice to see. Whales activity, well, whales are buying, okay? Whales are buying, which is a good sign that the local bottom is in. We see the 1 month Bitcoin liquidation heat maps shows billions in topside liquidity. So prices going up. This is where the liquidity is. This is where the exchanges can make the most amount of money with this liquidity, with those yellow lines, and it is on to the upside right now. We see coming up in decision in December, 85% chance that there's going to be a rate cut of interest rates, and once again injecting more liquidity into the markets, okay, which is a good thing for crypto. We see $48 billion fintech giant Revolut to integrate a Bitcoin Lightning Network. That's over 50 million users to be getting access to the Bitcoin Lightning Network. We see Tom Lee's Bitmine company just bought 14,600 Ethereum worth $44 million. That's a massive purchase of Ethereum, and once again they're going all in, they're going full speed to their goal of acquiring 5% of Ethereum that is out there. They're 60% on their goal already accomplished, and they're holding on for the long term. And he came on CNBC and told that Bitcoin could still make a new all-time high before the year end, or at least above $100,000 coming up in December. So time will tell. Meanwhile, the Coinbase CEO said live on CNBC the Bitcoin crypto market structure bill is about to pass, which will open up even more floodgates to Americans to be participating in the crypto market. So we also see Strike CEO Jack Mallers said they will buy over $60 billion worth of Bitcoin and want to be the largest holder of Bitcoin, just like the strategy, but even more than the strategy. And we have the world's largest YouTuber, Mr. Beast, with 500 million followers, filed a trademark to launch Bitcoin-focused bank app. Okay, another great news for the adoption of Bitcoin. So where do we stand for Ethereum? If you compare Ethereum to the gold, we're in a 4-year consolidation and happening. This is where gold started to pump. You can see over there, and went from this 4-year consolidation. Similarly, we can see Ethereum jump above $5,000 and into the $10,000 region. Okay, so overall, also something that we don't want to miss out on is that Bitcoin, with its IBIT, with BlackRock, Nasdaq just promoted IBIT into the same derivative tiers as Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, S&P 500, and QQQ. Basically, they raised their option cap from 25,000 to 1 million contracts. Okay, so what does all of this mean? They put Bitcoin on the same level as the top tier companies in the world. So this is incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. Okay, incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. All of these factors makes me wonder whether now is a great time to be buying Bitcoin. Okay, and of course, if you look at the short term, yes, we might spend a couple of more days below $92,000. We might move again to 87, 88,000. But looking at the overall picture where we are right now, if this net liquidity is going to flood the market, Fed reduce the interest rates, more liquidity coming to the market. Okay, this might we see 2026 as the year where the real bull market is just the beginning, right? And the end of the 4-year typical cycle, because of the institutions are involved right now. It's a different level of basically asset class. Okay, and then we're gonna see the PMI finally go up above 50, above 60. Economy is cranking, and we see altcoins finally boom. Okay, which we haven't seen right now. 3 years, we haven't seen altcoins really doing something amazing. In 2025, altcoins really didn't do anything amazing. In fact, they were just going down. If you look at the majority of the altcoins in the year of, let's see, 12 months, right? It's a red year. Let's look at Cardano. It's a red year, 2025. Look at the XRP. Not really a green year, just a little bit. If you look at Solana, it is a red year. So we might see altcoins all ahead of us, right? Everything hinges on where we are in the super cycle, and Bitcoin showing up strong, closing the year strong, and then 2026. Okay, so I wanted to give you some perspective about where we are right now. Yes, we are in a bearish trend right now. Yes, we're below the 50 weeks moving average, but wait for this shift from the downturn to the upside. Historically, you need to be paying attention. We are in extreme fear right now, and those are great times to be buying. If you're looking at the longer picture, you cannot go wrong with that. If you're short-term trading and using high leverage, well, you might get smacked down left and right. But if you're buying as an investor for the long term, those are historically great times to be buying. Okay, hopefully enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next episodes of what's happening today in crypto.